Eyes on the NFL draft. He's got his mock draft available today. And the way that Peter does these, and I love it, not picking who he would pick, but picking who he's hearing is likely to go in the various places. And the first one I look at is number 4. Talk to me, Peter, about the Titans and Jeremiyah Love.
As a labor of love here, this is weeks of texts and conversations at the league meetings and the combine, and Jeremiyah Love keeps on coming up to 4. Tennessee for me. Look, this is a guy who had 1,400 yards and 18 touchdowns last year. He also could play receiver if needed. This is one of those picks where you say value and position be damned. We are trying to get over the top and trying to be a difference maker. This is a blue chip prospect and maybe the number 1 overall rated player in this entire draft. Tennessee at 4, rare for a running back, yet everyone I'm speaking to is like, that's what we're hearing.
Yes, and I'm hearing it as well, and I believe many people believe he's the best player in the draft. But Dominique Foxworth, if you're a team that has a lot of holes, does it make sense to take a running back with the 4th pick in the draft?
Well, if you have a lot of holes in the O-line specifically, I think it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think the point that Peter was making that's a good one is that this draft is different and every draft is different. And if there are blue chip, like standout, future Hall of Fame potential players relative to other players that aren't at different positions, even positional value, I think, comes into question in situations like that. I'm not sure that it makes a lot of sense for the Titans, but I get it from like a value standpoint. If he's the best player in the draft at a position that's important, I think you kind of have to take seriously the chance that the Titans will take him.
2 numbers stand out to me. 41 games played at Notre Dame, so that tells me he should be able to come in right away and pass protect. No head coach is going to allow a rookie running back to play Greeny unless they can pass protect. And 63 catches. Peter alluded to it. A lot of teams feel like he can play wide receiver. You want to help Cam Ward develop, get the ball out of his hands, run the ball, cut down passing attempts for Cam Ward. This is an ideal pick for the Titans.
The other number that jumps out, 0 fumbles.
Yep.
So the kid doesn't ever turn the ball over. Peter, next, you do not have Ty Simpson going in round 1.
Yeah, this is not a knock at Ty Simpson. I don't have a team for Ty Simpson. So whereas others are making these fictional trades to get back into the first round and moving back, the teams that make sense would be the Jets and Arizona. Ty Simpson's not going 2 or 3. They have the 33 and the 34 picks. They can wait and take him there. I don't see Cleveland taking him, and I made this mistake last year. I didn't have any team that wanted Shedeur Sanders in the first round, but in my mock draft, I put him to Pittsburgh because I was like, he's got to go in the first. You start doing these mental gymnastics and creating scenarios in your head. That's where you get in trouble with these mock drafts. Ty Simpson might be a very good player. He might be the number 1 quarterback in this draft, according to some. I don't have him in the first round right now, and there's still 3 weeks to the draft.
I'd be shocked if he go in the first round, and here's why. A number of teams see him as a very good quarterback and the 5th-year option because of how expensive quarterbacks are in their extensions. Last year, we saw the Giants move up to 25 with Jackson Dart. Several years ago, we saw Lamar Jackson get traded up by the Ravens to number 32.
Yeah.
So be it Arizona or the Jets, top of the 2nd, maybe they slide into that 25 area the way the Giants
That's what
did.
Peter's talking about, is that maybe they wait there. The Jets have 33 and 44, so maybe they move up. It's not a coincidence that the owners' meetings happen. All of you insiders talk to all of the people, and you all come out, and every single one of you says the same thing. I don't have a team for
I like
Ty
the
Simpson.
player.
Yeah.
I don't have a team, and I'm not going to do the readers or the viewers an injustice and just make up a trade. Like, I don't see a team for him right now.
And the point I'm making is I'm hearing that everywhere I go. I mean, no one can find a spot for Ty Simpson. Would you take him? Would you make a move, Neek? If you're just use the Jets as a straw man here. You've got 33 and 44. Are you willing to give up a little bit of capital to get that 5th year? That's really what the decision they'd be making, as Tannenbaum is saying.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the first question is, do you believe he actually can be a franchise quarterback? If you think that's the case, I think the example that stands out is obviously Lamar Jackson. Is you move up to do that because you thought he had the potential of being great and other people missed it. I don't think you trade those picks to move up for a long shot. If you think that there's a chance that he might be good, that's one thing. But if you think that, well, we don't know, we'll give it a shot, I think you're wasting picks for teams that I think need a lot of players, and 2nd, 3rd round picks are picks that play for your roster pretty quickly.
Greeny, here is a grand slam scenario for your Jets. Let's say they take a pass rusher at 2, a receiver or corner at 16, and then they trade up for Ty Simpson, and let's say he's a B+. They're going to go into next year's draft with 3 first-round picks, and let's say they don't need a quarterback. Those 3 ones would be extremely valuable, and now you're really setting yourself up.
But he brought up an important point there, Neek. Neek did. And, Peter, do teams that you talk to like Ty Simpson, or do they love Ty Simpson? Because that's the point. You're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. You're going to trade, whatever the case may be. You have to have made up your mind. This guy can be our quarterback for a decade.
As much as it feels like there's no quarterbacks in the NFL, every team basically has a quarterback that they're speaking for. You're not taking a first-round quarterback and putting him in the bench and saying, well, he's our second quarterback, unless you really see a torch being passed. When the Rams traded that 29th pick, that was another suitor that was off the board. They like Ty Simpson. I've made this mistake before. Shador, Will Levis, Malik Willis, you name the names, where you try to force them into the first round. Sometimes there's just not teams looking for quarterbacks, and this guy is not one of those hands-down prospects where teams are going to be trading up to get him.
But the other side of that, Peter, is great organizations are proactive and they take advantage of opportunities.
Fair.
Look at the Packers.
Jordan Love, fair.
Right, they have Brett Favre. They don't need a quarterback. They take Aaron Rodgers. That's a decade-plus decision. They have Aaron Rodgers. They trade up a fourth-round pick to take Jordan Love. That's going to pay off for a decade-plus. So there could be Team X out there that sees Ty Simpson the same way.
We're saying the same thing, kind of, which is you have to have made up your mind that this guy can be your quarterback. Sure. And I think there's a tremendous amount of disagreement amongst the people that I hear from, Dominique, because if we're in the business of checking boxes, he only has 15 starts, and he's only 6'1", and he's sort of slight. So there are some things about him that teams aren't going to like.
Right. You don't draft a first-round quarterback unless you love him. And then you are, as a general manager, you are attaching a lot of faith to this pick. There are not a ton of teams or a ton of situations that can get away with drafting a first-round quarterback and say, don't worry, we got more first-round picks to use next year. Once you draft a quarterback in the first round, a lot of times your fate as a front office is tied to. You have to have some type of stability and flexibility that I think a lot of these teams don't have in that front office spot.
I'll make this note here. The Giants last year traded back into Jackson Dart. They love Jackson Dart. They also saw Abdul Carter as a franchise player at 3. The Cardinals, if they love Ty Simpson, just take him at 3. There's no franchise player that is viewed at like Abdul Carter. I don't think they're doing that. So to me, it's Cardinals, Jets, and I'm hearing everywhere, it's not the Browns. So find me a team. I don't have one.
That's the question. And does someone move up and make that move? We'll have much more of Schrager's mock draft. There's a lot of interesting stuff in it. As we continue, the Tar Heels call in an NBA champion to reboot their program. We'll explain the biggest challenge he's going to face at Chapel Hill. This one was a stunner. Plus, the Joker, a monster game. Is Denver now the most